Chapter 13. An evening with the player. Come on. I understand that you guys are anxious to go at each other, but at least have the decency to bolt the door next time. The person who had spoken was Seth. He was standing in the doorway, an amused smile on his face. He held a pack of beer in his hand. I felt my face heat up at what he said. I heard Tyler chuckle, making me realize that I was still on top of him. He finally let go of me and I stand up instantly. We weren't, he. I trail off as I fumbled to get the right words out. My face was getting redder by the second. I was a little embarrassed that Seth walked in on us in that position, although, I was glad that it wasn't Tyler's mom. That would have been super awkward. Suddenly, both boys burst into laughter. I cross my arms and glare at both of them. Finally, they stop laughing and Seth said, "Man, you should have seen your face. Ha ha. Very funny. I'm going to get you back for that," I said to Seth. Seth looked behind me at Tyler, who was now standing beside me. "You have a funny girl here, Tyler? First of all, I'm not Tyler's girl, and secondly, do you guys just walk into each other's house like that?" I asked. When I texted Tyler earlier, he said that I should just come right in. Seth answered as he walked over to the table and placed the pack of beer on it. I didn't know I was stopping something from happening. He looked at me and smirk. I roll my eyes. Would you quit it? Nothing was happening. The only reason I'm here is because I'm locked out of my house. Right. Seth teases and Tyler walk over to him and bump fist. You know what? I don't have time for you idiots, I said as my eyes shifted to the beer on the table. You can carry on doing whatever it is you're going to do. I'm going downstairs to find something to occupy my time. Before I could turn and leave, Tyler said, I know what you can do to occupy your time. He smirked mischievously. No thank you, Tyler. I'm not going to be one of your conquest, I said. Tyler raised his eyes in fake shock. I wasn't talking about that, he said, but he was still smirking mischievously. We both know that he was making a sexual comment. I was referring to you having a drink and joining us. Right, I said at his lame cover-up. Well, no thank you. I don't want to take part in being irresponsible morons. As I said that, Seth's phone rings and he took it from his pocket and answered it. He spoke into the receiver for a few seconds before hanging up. He looked at Tyler. That was my mom. She wants me to get a few things for her. Okay, cool man. Tyler did the guy fist bump thing with him, before Seth take up his car keys from the table beside the beer and walk back through the door. Tyler turned to face me again. So it's just me and you now. Rolling my eyes, I walk over to his bed and sat on the end of it, leaning my back on the wall behind me. I took out my phone out of my pocket, deciding to check my social medias to pass time. I had just signed into my Snapchat account, when Tyler sat on the bed and took my phone from my hands. Tyler, what are you doing? I said, scrambling for my phone, but Tyler moved quickly away from me on the bed. Come on, give that back. Nope, he said, grinning. Annoyed, I wanted to smack the grin off his face. I said, give me back my phone, I said, trying to sound threatening. I crawl on the bed towards him and stretch for my phone. However, the more I stretch for it, he moved his hand further away from me. In my movements to get back my phone, I didn't realize that I was fully on the bed beside Tyler. My body was pressed up against his as I tried to retrieve my phone. In order to reach my phone, I'd have to climb on him fully. And there's no way I was doing that. Do you want your phone? Tyler asked me, smirking. Trying not to be affected by our position, I nodded. Yes. You have to give me a kiss first, he replied. No way I'm doing that. I shook my head. You're not getting your phone then. I saw that the phone was in my reach, so I reached for it. Chapter 14. Chance Encounter. What is this crap you are listening to? I asked the following morning in the passenger seat of Tyler's car. I was watching him as he bops his head to a rap song, while concentrating on the road. I don't get it. What was so amazing about this song? I couldn't even hear what the singer was singing about. Boy, his taste in music is weird. Without turning his eyes from the road, he responded. You don't know what you are talking about. This is a great song. Well, my ears are bleeding. I couldn't take it anymore. I leaned towards the radio and turned the knob, hoping to find a radio station with a decent song. Suddenly, One Direction's "Live While We're Young" blast from the radio. Now, this is more like it, I said, resting my head on the headrest behind me. Seriously? One Direction? He queried, lifting his eyebrows at me for a second, before looking back to the road. I turned to look at him. Yeah, they're pretty amazing. You don't have good taste. He shook his head, so I added, insistently, they are so much better than the crap you were listening to. He laughed. I stick my tongue out at him. He laughed again and add, real mature. I ignored his comment and began to sing the lyrics of the song. Surprisingly, he didn't change back the station and we continued our journey to school in comfortable silence. I smile with satisfaction as I sang the words of the song all the way to school. A few minutes later, we pulled into the school's parking lot. As soon as I stepped from the car, I saw Seth's car pulled into the lot beside Tyler's. He got out from his car and walked over to where we stood, his eyebrows raised in surprise. Were you just listening to One Direction? He asked Tyler as he greeted him, doing the guy's handshake. I thought you didn't like them? Before Tyler could answer, I spoke up. I changed the station because he has no taste in music. Seth turned to face me, his eyebrows lifting in surprise. He then looked back to Tyler. You allowed her to touch your radio? His voice was filled with surprise. You never let anyone touch your radio. Tyler shrugged his shoulders. She was adamant. I knew if I changed it, she was going to change it back anyway. Seth continued to look at Tyler and I looked at Seth, wondering what he was on about. What's the big deal, man? Tyler added, as Seth's staring became intense. Seth's surprised look turned into a smirk. It's no big deal. No big deal at all. I was just about to say something, when I heard Victoria calling my name from the school's entrance. I turned around and she waved. I waved back and turned around to the boys in front of me. You guys can carry on being weird, I've gotta go. Without waiting for a response, I turn away and head in Victoria's direction. I was in second period, English class, getting my books ready for class, when someone sat beside me. I turned to see who it was and I felt my blood boiling with anger. I gave Logan a dirty eye. What are you doing beside me? I asked with hostility. This is called stalking and it's becoming really annoying. My face became red with my anger. Why don't he just leave me alone? Why did we have to share the same class anyway? We used to sit together. He declared as if the past 3 months didn't happen. That was before you played me like a puppet on a string. I said as I gathered my books and bag to get up and change seats. I didn't want to sit beside him. Every time I look at him, I'm reminded of what a fool I was. However, as I rise from my seat, my eyes scan the classroom at the same time. To my dismay, I saw that all the other seats were already taken. Every student was in class. The only person left to enter the classroom was Mrs. Robotham. I sat back down with a huff. Why was the universe working against me? Why was every seat in the classroom filled aside from the one beside me? Oh God, please let this class be over and done with. Don't worry, Emily, you can do this. All you have to do is ignore him for the entire class. Chapter 15. I want you back. Victoria and I rarely argued. I could only count 3 times in our friendship where we argued. Those times, it was only mere disagreements and we always hug and make up soon after. We never argued for long. Our friendship was too close and strong for that. Now, was one of those times and even though it was another disagreement, it was the first I've seen her like this. I've never seen Victoria so angry and full of hatred before. Are you out of your mind? She was asking, shaking her head vigorously. Did you forget what he did to you? Tori, it's not a big deal. I'm just going to hear what he has to say and leave. I said, trying to calm her down. As soon as lunch came around, I told Victoria about meeting Logan after school. She was not happy about that. So, she was trying to convince me that I shouldn't see him. I still think it's a bad idea. You cannot go and see him. Tori insisted. He hurt you without thinking about it, Emily. A guy like that don't deserve a chance to explain himself in my book. There's no way I'm giving him a second chance. I'm going to listen to him and that's it. I promise. I said, hoping she would understand. I just want him to leave me alone. Tori snorted, still shaking her head. I can't believe you're thinking about it? Her eyes suddenly got wide. Oh my God. He's getting into your head again. I scowled. No, he's not. I said, my voice rising a little to match hers. I just don't get why I can't meet him without it meaning anything. Because I know him. He's a manipulative douchebag. I won't let him get to me. I know I won't. I said, my voice getting quiet. Tori looked at me for a while, before sighing. You're right, I know you won't. I just hate him for what he did to you. I don't want him to hurt you again. He won't hurt me again, because I won't give him a chance to. I reply, fine, but can I at least come with you? She asks, I don't trust him. Thanks, but I need to do this on my own. Okay, but if he tries anything funny, don't be surprised when his body turn up in the lake. She warns. I couldn't help but burst out laughing. I won't. I said, touched by how much I could depend on Tori for anything. She is always there for me, just as I'm always there for her. Good, she said, finally taking up her apple juice and taking a sip. Where's Tyler? Normally, he would join our table. He said he'll be skipping lunch today. He's probably somewhere creating trouble with Seth. I wrinkled my nose in disgust. I told him he needs to stop doing that. Tori's lips stretched into a wide smile. You two are a cute couple, she said out of nowhere. I gave her a wry look. We are only fake dating, remember? I reminded her. I know, but it would be cool if you guys were actually dating. You both look cute together. I roll my eyes. We are not. Besides, I'm so done with players. I can't stand guys who can't stick to one girl. Tori grinned. And you don't want to be burnt twice. She surmised. Not at all. I said, then turned my attention to the fries on my plate. At the end of school, I head to the back of the school where the football field was. The football field at Preston High was huge. It was the field for football, soccer, field hockey and rugby. Half of it was taken up by bleachers. Adjacent the bleachers, a few trees were on the side with a few benches under it. Students would sit under the tree before and after school to hang out. In some cases, couples are often under the tree making out, wanting somewhere private. I scanned the area looking for Logan and I saw him sitting on one of the benches under the tree. He was staring in front of him, watching as the cheerleaders practice. I made my way over to him. Many have talked a good game about hearing what he had to say, but I was still hesitant to meet him. I mean, he did cheat on me and I was still angry. As soon as I reach him, he turned to face me and patted the seat beside him. I stood where I was and crossed my arms. Just say what you have to say, Logan.